Alright, good morning. We are going to take a look at some videos together because I need to explain some of the context of these videos as we are watching them. Now, this one, this piece is pulled from the video that I think this part is mostly in the National Geographic video that you guys already watched, but I want to go ahead and play it so we can kind of remind ourselves about what we're talking about and the blast and stuff like that. Now, this is going to be a two-part video. We're going to see military footage of bombings for two bombings in this one, and then the next one we're going to take a look at all of the test bombings that were done globally during what's going to become the Cold War. But the atomic bomb piece is really a huge part of that. So let's review Hiroshima here.
I saw an aircraft, like a tiny silver drop, entering the sky above Hiroshima.
That survived both bombings, Hiroshima and Nagasaki.
I instantly recognized it as an American plane, as no Japanese aircraft could fly at that altitude at the time. It was just one plane, so I assumed that it was passing by as usual.
So the Enola Gay, if you want to see if the plane that dropped this bomb, is in the Air and Space Museum Auxiliary in Northern Virginia. So, this guy's story just gets me every time. Amazing that he found his father and survived.
I was wiping the desktop. That was when the bomb was dropped.
That's the little boy bomb, because of his name. Paul Tibbets is the pilot of the Enola Gay. The plane's named after his mom.
It took about 45 seconds from the time the bomb left the airplane until it exploded. And I think there wasn't a man in the airplane that wasn't either timing it with his watch or counting or doing something. I was sure the bomb was a dud. I was sure it wasn't going to work.
Now this is a 15 kiloton bomb. This poor girl, she was 16, she thought she caused the explosion because she crashed her tram. For 42 seconds. And you blow it up above the target to increase the blast radius, so it doesn't hit the ground. There's the T-bridge. They missed the mark.
After falling for 43 seconds, the time and barometric triggers started the firing mechanism. A uranium bullet fired down a barrel into a uranium target. Together, they started a nuclear chain reaction. Solid matter began to come apart, releasing untold quantities of energy.
So first, the bright light. Get the heat, and that person dissipated, turned to steam instantly. If you're going to die in a nuclear blast, you want to be in the middle, so you don't know what happens. You don't even have a chance, you just turn to steam. So light, heat, and then the pressure wave. And now this is computer generated, but you'll see in the next videos, you can actually see that pressure wave moving across, just like that. Okay. So let's do the next video. So you know, part of this huge piece is testing. And the United States, you know, 1 bomb, 2 bombs, that's not enough. So, you know, part of our nuclear plan is to terrify the Russians, make bigger bombs, and so that's what this is. This is a test called Crossroads, and Crossroads was supposed to be 3 shots: Abel, Baker, Charlie. And they were, hold on here. Looks like I've got another video playing. Okay, let me turn that off. So Abel is a blast drop from a plane into the ocean, because we're trying to measure how the ocean amplifies or changes the nature of nuclear bombs. The second bomb, Baker, is supposed to be an underwater blast, and then Charlie was supposed to be a deep underwater blast. But once you see Abel and Baker, you're going to see why they called off Charlie, because it's pretty intense. All right, so this is all declassified footage after the Cold War ended in the 90s. A lot of this footage was allowed to be viewed. So this is all actual. There's Tinian Island, where they leave with the bombs. And the bombs are really heavy. And these are still like 15 kiloton bombs. These are small bombs. I'm not exactly sure the weight of Shot Abel, but look at this rinky-dink equipment that they're using. It's crazy. No protection. So these are ships that were staged there as models. Some of them were Japanese ships. Some of them were our ships that were decommissioned. Okay, that's to protect their eyes from the blast, the bright flash. You could go blind from that flash if you look right in it. But look, there's no radiation protection at all. Just cover your eyes, kids. Cover your eyes. Okay, so there you can see that's the actual blast. That's real footage. This is what my dad did in the Navy for years. He filmed bomb footage in the Pacific, which is why he died of 3 kinds of cancer when he was 60. All right, different viewpoints, but you can see that wave visually, like you can physically see it as it disrupts the water. This is just from all different viewpoints from the different cameras. So this was the plane to the water. So there's your mushroom cloud. I think you can see little birds flying by if you look closely, like, hi birds. Yeah, there's a little bird right there. Birds flying by. Okay.
The bomb missed its intended target by nearly 800 yards. The blast sent 5 ships, including 2 destroyers, to the bottom of Bikini Lagoon.
That's where SpongeBob lives.
All ships within a half a mile of the blast were heavily damaged.
Okay, I'm running out of time here, and I want to show you the other blast, okay? Alright, so here is Shot Baker. And I'll give you a trigger
It was
warning.
nowhere near that created by the following underwater blast known as Shot Baker.
In this test, there are animals on deck being tested for radiation exposure. This is, yeah, this is the mine. Excuse me. So this is being put underwater. You ever seen Finding Dory? They have these mines down there. Or Finding Nemo, the original. Excuse me. Look at that. Makes those ships look like toys. Now that's the heat turning the water into steam, and then here comes this pressure. Literally knocks the bottoms out of some of these ships. Like, just the bottom just falls off and the ship just drops. It's all the same bottom, different angles.
Bikini Baker was an underwater burst of the same device, and it produced much more damage to the armada of 70 ships. For instance, the USS Saratoga had the bottom of it essentially knocked out of it from the underwater burst. And the Saratoga sank and sets upright at the bottom of the Bikini Lagoon at the present time. I've often flown over Bikini Lagoon, and on clear days when the water is quiet, you can still see the Saratoga setting there.
The area surrounding Shot Baker had become seriously radioactive and could not be safely approached for some time.
But notice, no protective gear. That's a
This
Geiger counter in his
effect
hand.
was not anticipated and ultimately led to a decision by President Truman to call off a third deep underwater test, codenamed Charlie.
So seeing this damage, knowing they're bombing the ocean, and there's no real consideration for what this is going to do to sea life, how many tests did we do? Well, you're going to find out in the next video. Looks like we're going to run out of time. You're not going to see all the gruesome shots of animals that were nuked. But if you want to watch more of these videos, I will post the links to the individual videos themselves. This is a full documentary called Trinity and Beyond, and it's long, but if you're into this, you might enjoy it. All right, signing off. See you in a minute.